Parshas Vayechi has Yaakov asking for Yosef to be brought to him. Yosef appears in front of him, and Yaakov says the words, "Vasisa imadi chesed, do for me a favor, a kindliness, emes and truth. Al natik v'reini b'Mitzrayim, please do not bury me in Mitzrayim." Now, there are various mefarshim that explain why it is that specifically Yaakov did not want to be buried in Mitzrayim. Amongst them, the Das HaKenim provides an interesting reason. It says the Das HaKenim as follows: Yaakov Avinu was afraid that since Kinim, lice, was to be one of the makas, if Yaakov Avinu was buried in Mitzrayim, Hashem would not bring Kinim, would not bring that particular plague. Therefore, Yaakov Avinu said, "Please do not bury me in Mitzrayim, because if you do, Hashem will not bring that makkah, because out of respect for my body being buried there, Hashem will not afflict the land by turning it into lice." Therefore, Yaakov asked, "Do not bury me in Mitzrayim." I find it a very fascinating expression for the Das HaKenim to tell us, because the first observation is that Yaakov Avinu, the essence of who he was, is the neshama, the person, he. The body is the kli, the body is the vessel. Certainly when the body is buried, it is an important part. It's something that requires honor, but it's not Yaakov Avinu. Yet Yaakov understood that if just his body alone, just his guf, was buried in Mitzrayim, Hashem would not bring the makkah of Kinim. Now, each makkah, we're told, has a very specific and exact reason that Hashem brought it. Each makkah was a demonstration of Hashem's control over nature. Each makkah showed an element of Hashem's shlita, Hashem's rulership, and each plague had a very specific purpose in teaching the Jewish nation, in teaching the Mitzrayim, and was very, very significant. Yet, Yaakov was afraid that just his body being buried there, that alone would have such chashivas, would lend such importance, that Hashem would change the very plan of nature. Hashem would not bring that makkah out of respect for Yaakov Avinu. Keeping in mind that there's some almost 200 years between Yaakov's death and the later experience of bringing the makkahs, yet that fact alone, that almost 200 years ago, Yaakov Avinu's body has been buried here, Hashem wouldn't bring a makkah, I think is very illustrative of the extreme importance of an individual. We see from here how chashuv, how important a person is, that not just he, but just his body that's buried 200 years ago in this land had such importance that Hashem would change something that's very significant for the entire Jewish nation. Hashem would not bring this makkah, this affliction of kinim, out of respect for the tzaddik. And that alone is a very significant, important purpose to teach us the value, the significance of an individual. But I think it's even more potent and more illustrative of a different concept. And that is that Yaakov Avinu was a very humble man. He was not arrogant. He was not a showboat. He was an extraordinarily humble man. Despite the fact that he recognized clearly his importance, he said to his sons, "Do not bury me in Mitzrayim." Why? Because my body, not just I, but just my kli, just the guf itself, is so important that 200 years from now, Hashem will change the events. Hashem won't bring this kinim because my body is buried there. He had a clear understanding of his importance, yet he remained humble. He remained a very, very great anav. And I think from this we see what true anava is and what true godless, what true greatness is. A truly great person understands that they have very, very real importance, very real significance. Yet despite the fact that they have an understanding of their importance that far overshadows anything that you or I could understand, despite their understanding of their importance, they remain humble because they remain clear in the understanding that they are creation, they are nivra. Hashem put me on this planet, Hashem made me, and I'm a servant of Hashem. Much